People, you know what time it is. Welcome to the F1 preview for tomorrow. This is now going to be my fourth stream in under 24 hours on my channel. I think for the very, very first time ever, doing 4 streams in under 24 hours. But big ups to everyone who's tuned in to all those shows. Big up to everyone who's been a part of it. And King, thank you for coming on, bro. Apologies about the NBA stream this morning, but at least you're here for the F1. Let's get started, man. Hope you're doing well, and yeah, it's gonna be an interesting race, isn't it?
Yeah, man, I'm excited to be honest. This is the most excited I've been this season with Ferrari.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, same.
Like the whole weekend up to this point, we've looked really good. We look like we have a lot of pace. I think we've done a lot in this track. Obviously, we're going to talk about what happened. It's unfortunate what happened for Lewis, but those things happen sometimes, like a communication, and you lose it out. But outside of that, yeah, man, we're the second fastest car on the grid, and I'm happy to say that. So that's quite a drastic change from last week, where we were not really anywhere, to this week where we're. But the only thing I would say is it's going to be a difficult one, because even if you got the pace, it's a track that you don't really pass people in. You win the race on most of the time on Saturday, and it's unfortunate that we were this close from pole, but we'll talk about that more. But
yeah, and people on your way in, it's always important that you do hit the like button when you enter the panel, or when you enter the chat. Make sure you guys leave your comments in. Make sure you guys, like I said, subscribe to the channel. It's important you do so. I'm literally so close to 270 subs. So people, you know what to do. Subscribe to King's channel. Subscribe to my channel. Yeah, and let's get started. Obviously, today we have. Sorry about the noise, people. Just quickly. Yeah, sorry about that. Anyways. We're gonna talk about Ferrari today first and foremost. Let's start Ferrari. I think that's the way we should start, because obviously you and I are both Ferrari fans. Very, very, very unfortunate for Charles, man. Last gasp, literally last second. Lando Norris stole pole position by just like I don't know how many. I can't remember how many seconds. I can't remember how many seconds he stole it by, but literally not that much of a gap. So Ferrari are looking decent going into this weekend. I can't lie. They're looking, I think, strong going to the race. And yeah, but how are you feeling? Talk to me about yesterday, man, because it was very, very good qualifying by Ferrari on both drivers. Very unfortunate for Lewis, but we'll talk about that one later.
Yeah, going into the weekend, I wasn't sure what we were gonna be like, because last week's qualifying we weren't very good, but during the race the car was alive, so it was one of those things where I was just worried about how good we were gonna be, and it was just really that for me. It was just seeing what we were gonna expect from the weekend, because I wasn't too sure. I felt like we were gonna have a bad weekend, but then it kind of, my mind eased when I saw us going back to back number one in the practice. Then in practice 3, where it's the most important one, going number one again. So we were showing the car had a lot of pace in it, and I was happy to see that. I was happy that there was a lot of pace in the car.
No, I hear it. I mean, looking at the practices, the Ferrari's results, P1, P4, P1, P3, or P1, P5, something like that. It was very consistent by Charles. I think Charles, obviously, being back home in Monaco, where he grew up, he told his dad, he made a promise to his late father that his dream was to win Monaco in a Ferrari. And fast forward to in 2017, he said that. Fast forward 7 years later, he wins the Monaco Grand Prix. So do you know what, Charles Leclerc, I'm rooting for you. Really, this weekend, I'm giving you my backing, my full backing to do it this weekend. I know it's going to be tough to overtake. I know it's going to be tight, because in Monaco it's very, very hard to overtake. However, you just never know with the strategies that Ferrari have. And I've questioned it in the past. I've questioned the way Ferrari have managed themselves in situations, but today in Monaco, I've seen Ferrari do well in Monaco as of recent times. Yes, Monaco is not the go-to race for most people, I'd say, because how many laps are there? About 81 laps again, same as last year, 81 laps,
78.
78. So they shortened it by 4 laps. Last year it was 81 laps. So do you know what? Yeah, no, I just think with Charles Leclerc's pace this weekend going into it, I'm confident. I'm confident that they can give McLaren a run out for the money. I think they can do that. But anyways, we'll talk about obviously, like, the pace of Ferrari. Talk about Lewis Hamilton and Lando Norris snatching pole. I think we'll stick with Lewis Hamilton for since we're already on the Ferrari topic. What do you think happened? Or what exactly happened? Because I was watching it, right? But I wasn't so sure. I was hearing that impeding him and Lewis Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen thing impeded each other. At what?
Yeah, he impeded Max. Basically, Max was going in for a lap, I think, and Lewis um got in his way a bit. But the thing
Right.
about it is, for me, it was the communication error. Sometimes you, as a race engineer, you just tell him get out the way. Really, it was like because obviously sometimes cars are moving slow, sometimes cars are moving quick. You don't know,
Mm,
so because of that communication error, it led to the impeding call, and it was impeding because he was in the way of Max. So yeah, it's just unfortunate for him because I think Ferrari, both drivers had really good weekend up until that point, and that little error cost him a lot. Because in Monaco, as I said, it's a very difficult track to overtake. Obviously, they've made a rule where you have to change your tire twice, but it's going to be very difficult because him getting that free grid penalty means he's going to be behind Racing Bulls and behind also who else behind an Aston Martin. So and the one person you don't want to be behind in a race like this is Fernando Alonso because he'll defend for his life. And without the space and everything, yeah, it's going to be a very difficult weekend for him. It
mm,
just
yeah.
because you know for Ferrari itself, a second and a fourth is amazing. Like because McLaren's the number one car, so to get a second and fourth, that means you're the number two car on that weekend, and that's what we've been all weekend. And it's just unfortunate that that one little mistake, that one little communication error, led to him losing 3 places.
Yeah, I know. I mean, and unfortunately for Lewis, he would have got what was it? What was it? Third?
Fourth, P4.
He
Oh
he,
no, was he P4 or P3?
he
No,
no no no.
P4, P4.
He was P4. So
Yeah,
now
P4.
he's starting at P7 tomorrow,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
going to take a huge toll on Ferrari's what do you call chances tomorrow of getting a double, let's say double podium, if I'm not mistaken. So
I don't think we'll get double podium, but it loses a chunk of points that we could have got because
right,
those are the kind of points that you can because we're very close to both the Mercedes and Red Bull. So every points we get now, especially considering both the Mercedes got knocked out in quali two, it's very unlikely they're going to get points this weekend. So
right,
it
yeah,
was an opportunity for us to overtake both them and Red Bull because Red Bull only have one driver in the top 10 in Max. But we at that because of that impeding call, one of our drivers goes below Max. But at that point, we would have had both of our drivers ahead of Max, and that would have been perfect, pretty much.
I hear it. No, yeah, I'm you're not wrong. You're not wrong about that. I just think Lewis, obviously, unfortunate with the miscommunication with the engineer, with the Ferrari engineer. I think they have themselves to look at this weekend and be like, they're the ones that they're at fault for what went wrong.
Yeah,
So
the engineer. Yeah,
that's accountability as well. So yeah, that's something that they need to look into account. Also, strategy wise, because this weekend I'm hearing it has to be a double pit stop. It has to be
yeah,
like two.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They
So
they've added that, so I think that's the only benefit for Lewis is that because he's got the hard tires, he can go longer, and because his car has a
yeah,
lot more speed than the ones ahead of him, especially the Alonso and the Alonso and Hajar. If he can get a good start and if he can go longer into the first stint, he can pass them in the pit stop. So he can definitely get a P4 or P5. Definitely is on the cards for him still with the double pit stop.
So you're saying Ferrari had to go with the hard tires this weekend to win the race, or potentially
For him, yeah, definitely.
But for Charles Leclerc, you think the medium tires will work, or do you think the hard tires
Yeah,
will work?
mediums for
Okay.
Charles, because he's up there. Because if he gets a good start, especially with the mediums, or if he gets past, because if he gets past Lando in the first corner, which is very possible, if he gets the better start, he can win the race.
Mm.
Because
Yeah, it's about turn one. Like I said, it's
yeah,
always about turn one. Sorry, continue what
yeah.
you're saying. Continue.
No, you're right. You're right. As you said, it's about turn one, and if he gets that turn one, and if he does that, then he can definitely win the race. And that's
Because
the
yeah,
small margins in it.
because don't forget what happened last year. Last year, two incidents happened at turn one. Not even turn
Yeah.
one. It wasn't even at the turn one. It was down the straight.
Yeah, exactly. That's another thing. So
Everyone's
that might
expecting.
take out one of the that might even take out one of the what's it called?
They have to restart the race again, bro. They have
Yeah,
to restart everything again. So, and luckily for
tire
Carlos Sainz,
changes.
it was lucky for Carlos Sainz because he got into an accident,
Yeah.
but then he was able to restart his car again because they hadn't complete lap one, so
Yeah,
they managed to
exactly.
fix the car just in time for,
Yeah.
to get to. I think he got P3 as well last time. If I'm not mistaken, I think he got P3 or P4. Carlos Sainz, but listen, this time, I mean, Lewis Hamilton. Hopefully, he can get to a good position even with the penalty.
Yeah. It just makes
And
his job more difficult because he's got two slower cars ahead of him, and he would have been ahead of Max as well. So
yeah,
it would have just been Ferrari McLaren fighting it out.
expect bare red flags today. That's
Yeah.
all. Expect a lot of red flags today. There's going to be a lot of incidents, and I hate to say it, but there's going to be a lot of incidents. Like especially with yesterday, George Russell crashing out as well in the qualifiers as well. Kimi Antonelli not completing Q2. He had to finish in P15 because he made it out with his time and everything, but he unfortunately wasn't able to drive in Q2, wasn't it?
Yeah, because he
Able to
crashed as
drive,
well.
yeah, exactly. So even George Russell, I think, is not driving in Q3. No, he wasn't driving in Q3. I think he crashed out as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he crashed in Q2 as well.
Yeah, so Kimi and George Russell, I think both had a terrible qualifiers. Unfortunately for them, sometimes shit happens. Like I think they'll bounce back from that. Who else was a disappointment? Piastri was a disappointment yesterday, in my opinion. I thought he should have done better. I think Lando Norris has finally made. We'll talk about Lando Norris in a bit, but Max Verstappen and Oscar Piastri had very very poor qualifiers yesterday. What do you think happened though? Because I'm looking at their race pace yesterday. They weren't as fast as down the final sector of Q3, and that's what costed them a P2 or P3 yesterday.
Oh,
Because
for who?
Charles, I'm talking about Piastri and Verstappen. They weren't as fast as Charles yesterday. I think Charles was just very very fast down the final few sectors, final
Yeah,
few
yeah.
turns.
I think the Ferrari had a lot of pace in the car and was able to compete with the McLarens, which was a good thing. And it was just about getting the best out of the tires, really. That's
Right.
Monaco is a very difficult track to get time out of because
Mm.
it's slow corners. About it's about taking the risk and getting the reward from it when it comes to those circuits. And because this is a circuit that Charles has driven most of his life, he probably knows it more than most. So I think if you have Charles comfortable in his car in Monaco, he's going to get more out of the car than most drivers, and that's what happened really. I think Oscar did as much as he could, but he just got beaten by the better driver on the day, really. Um, I think Charles was as he said this close to getting P1, so he was going to beat both McLaren drivers. So I don't think it was a Oscar issue. I just think Charles was that good when it came to that car, and then I think the Red Bull just doesn't have the pace. I don't think the Red Bulls. I think Max is overdriving the car every time he drives it. I think he's doing more for the car than it actually is, in my opinion.
Yeah, Max was fuming yesterday as well at Lewis Hamilton as well yesterday. He was pissed off.
Yeah, because obviously they're impeding, but that's an unfortunate event. And also, I think the Mercedes was bad as well, even without the crashes. I don't know if the Mercedes were gonna be up there as well. Maybe I reckon it could have. You know what? Max probably also benefited from Mercedes not being there because I think those are the positions
Mm-hmm.
he would have competed in. So
I do. Yeah, crashing out was unfortunate. It didn't determine how fast Mercedes actually was. It just got them out of Q3, which unfortunately, Mercedes. It's very very hard to be so perfect in Monaco, and
yeah,
you have to be on point. You can't even hit the barrier by a bit because I think you'll be out of the race if I'm not
yeah,
mistaken.
yeah,
So yeah, it's unfortunate for it was unfortunate for Mercedes. Like it doesn't determine their actual pace, but in terms of Monaco itself, just the track, it's hard to overtake. If it was like, for example, like which race would you which race could I take example from? Like which race has a lot of like overtaking zones? Like, because I don't know, it's hard for me to like look at, because yesterday, if it wasn't like another track, then I see Mercedes finishing in the
yeah.
top three, four.
If it's a non-street track, it's a lot easier to overtake. So like a Silverstone or something of that,
I was thinking
where there's opportunities
even
to overtake.
even at turn one, you can overtake. So
Yeah.
that's the thing.
I don't think Mercedes was quick enough to get top three, but they would definitely get into the points
No,
if they had.
I'm not talking about tomorrow. I'm not talking about yesterday. I'm talking about like tomorrow, like tonight, like actually the race
Yeah,
tonight.
yeah, yeah. I don't. I think they
They
already have the.
definitely been top three,
They.
top four.
I don't think they would be top three, top four because the Mercedes, the McLarens, and the Ferraris in terms of race pace were too quick for them. But
Depends
they
on the
would
end.
definitely be sixth, seventh, eighth around that ballpark if they were able to overtake. And
Yeah,
they can still do it if they go longer into, as I said, go for the hards, go longer into the first stint, and then try and overtake people with the when it comes to the what's it called the tire change period.
mm. Yeah. Because the thing is, right? Sometimes people look at how do you say it? People look at what was it? Race, like not the race. Sorry, the strategy of Mercedes. Like they've had good strategies over the course of this year. I think that the strategy has been on point. It's just
Yeah,
in certain races they just can't clutch it out, and that's the biggest problem with Mercedes. Like they can have good races, but they just cannot clutch it out. Like they've been in situations where they've had a good shot at actually getting into high point system, but I don't. But as of right now, no, not for me. I just think strategically they're there, but when they can clutch it up, they can't. That's the problem with Mercedes. Like they
yeah.
just cannot get
Their car wasn't quick this weekend. That's the issue
they
they've
can't
had.
they can't get over the line. That's the problem.
Yeah,
What
their car this weekend
when it
has
matters.
been slower than the Williams and the Racing Bulls, and yeah, so it's not
But
been the great weekend for Mercedes.
but expect George Russell to win a race this year. Expect him to win a race this year for sure. You have to. Like he's definitely within a shot to win a race this year for sure. He has to.
If they give him the car, then yes, he can. But I don't know if they're gonna give him the car this year.
Do you think Ferrari made upgrades to their car this weekend, or do you think they just like thought, okay, we're gonna leave it all in Monaco, like actually just go for
I'm not
it?
sure if they made upgrades, but I think they just because going into it, they even said themselves that they didn't expect much from this weekend. So I don't know. Maybe the car characteristics just suited this racetrack better.
Or maybe there's better on street circuits,
Maybe,
and
maybe
the,
maybe
the tires have better
maybe.
grip on street circuits. You know what I mean? Sorry, continue. Sorry, continue.
No, no, no. That could be a factor as well. But I feel like the slower corners. I just think I don't know. I sometimes it just clicks on the weekend. You have no expectations going in, and then the car just decides to perform because of the conditions. So I just think they had the right conditions. I think the slower corners were good for the car. I think they had the right amount of what they needed for this car to work. So maybe this is the type of tracks that this car loves. Maybe,
Mm,
but I don't know. I don't really know because there was not really any hope going into the weekend. So just to see the
yeah.
car this quick, especially on one lap pace, to be able to compete for pole, yeah, yeah, man, it's a good feeling to see Ferrari compete for pole.
Who do you think? Right. Obviously, do you think the penalty was deserved for Lewis Hamilton? Do you think it was like justified? Do you think it was like? Do you think it was the right decision to make to give him the penalty? Even if
Yeah, it was the right decision for the penalty, but it should have just been one grid. It should have been him and
yeah.
Verstappen swapping.
No, I hear it. I hear it. But let's talk about Lando Norris snatching pole from Charles Leclerc. Like just last gap, last sorry, last gasp pole, like literally snatching it right at the death, like within like how many point something seconds? Like I can't remember, but let's talk about that because that was fair play to Norris. Honestly, like, is this weekend finally the weekend where he hits the mark, and comes back stronger than usual?
Lando?
Lando Norris, yeah, he stole that pole from Charles Leclerc at the last gasp second, right? And also, it looks like he's a lot faster. He's got that, he's the one that I think, is this the race where he finally makes his mark? He finally comes back and starts, saying, "Okay, I'm here." Like, is this where he leaves a mark?
Depends if he wins or not. Really depends. Um, as I said, the first corner is gonna determine whether he's that guy or not.
Mm.
So if he comes out the first corner winning, and then obviously has the race pace to back it up, then yes. But I need to see it to believe it from him because so far he hasn't showed that killer instinct that Oscar has shown, that Max has shown in the past. So I can't really, I can't really look at him yet and say he's arrived. I would say this, that I'm happy that he's got a pole. This is the first time that he's got one in a while, so his qualifying has got better. But I want to see him in the race. He needs to complete the job. Job's not finished. He completed it's the first half. His first half perfect. Let's see your second half.
Yeah, and let's see how you do in turn one as well against Charles Leclerc. That's the one. That's the one thing I look at. Big up to you, Rasta. Chilling. Hope you're well. Who won Formula One the most? Lewis Hamilton and Michael Schumacher.
Yeah, 7 each.
Those were the all-time champions. Yeah, 7 each. A question for you both: who's your favorite Formula One racer of all time or current? My all-time is Michael Schumacher. My current driver. I guess I don't really have one, to be honest with you. Excuse me, I don't really have one, to be honest. I don't really have like a favorite driver. I'll be honest. I'm not really like, I don't really have a favorite driver. I guess you could maybe say Charles Leclerc, or maybe Mick Schumacher when he comes back, because obviously you got to support the son of the greatest player of all time, greatest driver of all time. Personally, for me, so I don't know. I don't really have a favorite driver, I guess, but you could say Charles Leclerc right now, all time. Michael Schumacher. What's yours?
All time is the same for me, Michael Schumacher. He's the reason why I support Ferrari. Currently,
Briefly,
I'll
but still.
yeah. Currently, I've got two names. Sir Lewis, obviously, he's a brother. He's done greatness. He is the goat. Obviously, some people say Michael, some people say him, but for me, he's the goat. And one of the young bulls that I like a lot, and a guy that's every race is exciting me. Isaac Hadjar. I like him, man. I like that young man. He's gonna be my rookie of the year. I'm gonna lie to you. I
Is he
like what he's doing.
is he your current favorite driver?
Him and
I thought,
Lewis.
I thought you
I
said
had in some of the rookies, Hadjar, Lewis, and then all time Michael.
Michael Schumacher. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, definitely.
But I mean, do you have any more to add about this weekend? You want to add any more comments regarding to this weekend?
Yeah. As well, speaking of Hadjar, what another great performance. Second best Red Bull driver as well. Again, so he's doing his thing. It's good to see Ocon up there as well. It's the first time you've seen a Hash driver up there like that. So that's very interesting. It was a very interesting qualifying overall. Obviously, the two Mercedes being knocked out led for new drivers getting in there. Obviously, Liam Lawson finally getting the top 10 as well.
Yeah.
And obviously Ocon there as well. The elder statement, Alonso, he's up there too. So it's gonna be a fun race to watch. I think there's gonna be a lot of things happening, a lot of parts moving, and I like the fact that they've implemented the fact that you have to have 2 pit stops. Yeah, that's the word, pit stops. So that the first pit stop is gonna determine the first, second pit stop. It makes the race more exciting because I remember last year, or was it the year before that, where there was as you said, the crash, and then there was a red flag, and then that's the pit stop gone because you can change your tire when you're in red flag conditions. So even if there's a red flag and there's a change of tires in red in there's another pit stop to be had. So I like Monaco when there's strategy because then it allows for changes to be had because you're not going to see changes on the track because it's too small for that. But the changes are going to be depending on what tires people use, how long they go into their stints, and when they decide to take their pit stops. And if they get lucky to have a pit stop on under safety car conditions or virtual safety car conditions as well. Are you the driver that's going to be lucky and move up the positions, or be the one unlucky and move down? That's the catch 22 of Monaco when you decide to take your pit stop, because there's always going to be incidents, especially with so many rookie drivers. You've seen it in qualifying. It's just a very very thin track, so anything can happen. Really, that's the bonus of a Monaco type track is that you're on knife edge every lap.
Yep. I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, it depends on. I agree with you. It depends on the pit stop, but who will be the first driver to pit stop? Because it has to be one of the drivers that are from the bottom at least, right?
Yeah, it'll probably be a Stroll or someone like that.
No, maybe yeah. I hear it, but then again, you got to look at the one-stop strategy. Sorry, two-stop strategy thing. Could it play a factor into who wins the race? Because I'm looking at Charles, right? You got to get your tires right because you can do two stops, right? But then again, you're racing on the track that you won last year, and I think he did two stops last year. Two stops last year, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I think
I think it was only. I don't think there was a pit stop because of the red flag last year. Let me double check.
No, there was a pit stop. There was a pit stop last year. Everyone had to pit last year. At least once last year, I remember.
Let me see what happened in the race. No, it was red flagged on lap 1, so
Right.
no one had pit stops.
Could that be the case again tomorrow? Tonight,
No,
sorry.
no, because obviously they've implement. That's why they implemented the rule of the second pit stop. Because last year what happened is, in the first lap it got red flagged, meaning that you can change your tires, which that counts out one pit stop, and it meant that just everyone stuck on the same tire for all 78 laps, and no changes after that because it's just about keeping your car on track after that.
Wasn't it 81 laps last year?
No, it's 78.
I swear I remember there was one race that had 81 laps. I can't remember what it was, but never mind. It's what it is. Shall we get into predictions now?
Yeah.
Just talk a bit more about the race tomorrow. You still want to have any comments about tomorrow more? You?
No, I think I'm happy they've added the second pit stop because if there is a red flag, that means there's still a strategy to be had. But there could be 2 red flags in this type of race, so we'll see what happens.
Let's do predictions. I'm gonna start. Actually, I'll let you start. You can go first.
Top 3. You know what? I'm gonna be ambitious. I'm gonna say, Charles first, Lando
Agreed.
second, Piastri third.
I'm gonna go with Charles Leclerc number 1. Lando Norris number 2, and I'm gonna go with do you know what? I'll throw Max in there. Why not? I think he'll be fired up after yesterday. What happened yesterday between him and Lewis? I think he'll be fired up. So I reckon that there's a good shot that he can get third tomorrow. I don't know why. I just think Oscar Piastri is bound for a bad weekend. I don't know what it is with me tomorrow. Excuse me, tonight. Like I don't know why, but I just don't think he's gonna have a good race weekend. Just by his own standards. Like still, I think third or fourth is a good weekend depending on the pace of your own car and depending on what you've done. But then again, the overtaking zones are hard. There's not going to be any overtaking zones this weekend. It's going to be very, very tough to find overtaking zones this week. but praying that one of our drivers don't crash out. Ferrari don't crash out. You know, any dark horses? Any any how do you say outsider chance? Like who's your like outsider chance of winning it, or podium at least?
Podium. Isaac Hadjar, I think, is an outside
Okay.
chance. The Racing Bulls looks very racy, so that could be an outside chance. If any of the top cars get knocked out, then Isaac Hadjar is a chance, and you can never say no to Alonso either. One of them two. But I think more Hadjar. I think you might see Hadjar get a podium if
Right.
a couple cars crash out.
Yeah, hit the like button, people, on your way in and on your way out, people. Make sure you guys do so and subscribe to both of our channels. I will leave King's link to the title right now. Hold on, let me just do that right now while I'm at it. What's your next milestone, bro? And what do you got coming up?
In terms of videos, I'm gonna try and do more WWE videos, more videos about different sports as well that I enjoy. Obviously, I'll be back on this channel for like basketball and stuff like that, but I might do some on my own channel as well. And in terms of milestone, I'm on 19, so if I can get to 20, then I'm good.
Oh, guys, one sub, literally one sub, people. Come on, one sub. Or you know what?
100, yeah, 100 subscribers. Why not? Go big or go home.
Get into 100, man. Come on, man. Yeah, go big or go home. Exactly, bro. You know, you're in the vibes, man. Come on. You know what I'm trying to say? It's not fair that I'm on 260. It's not fair that I'm on 266, right? And then he's not even near me. It's not fair. It's not fair. Like he has to be. He has to because he's played a huge part of my channel, right? He's been on my shows. He's been, you know, he's played a huge part on this channel. So you know, people go show him some love. Go subscribe to his channel. You know, he has to be at least on 200 by the end of this year. Come on, you guys already know the drill. You know, you're always sub to my guests every time you hop on when you're entering the stream. Click my guest link and then click my link and subscribe because it's important that you do so. Helps out with our channels, helps out with the algorithm, helps out with the shows, and share it across socials. Share it with your mates. Yeah. And let's get to 270 subs by the end of the show. Literally 4 subs away. Come on, people. And for you, just get 1 sub to 20. But at the end of the day, go big or go home. You know, you got to get nearby. You know, got to get to near 100. But also, I just want to talk about this weekend one more. Do you have anything more to add about this weekend and anything more?
No,
comments?
it's gonna be a very simple weekend. Monaco's not one of the exciting races. It's, if anything, Monaco is everything outside of the race is exciting in terms of the stuff you see, the celebrities and things of that nature. But in the race, I don't know if there's going to be much excitement. I'm hoping for it. I'm hoping that them implementing the 2 pit stop rule, it will add a bit more. But I don't know.
Is the race happening same time as Forest Chelsea, or is it before, 1 hour before?
Oh, let me check.
I think it starts at 3 p.m. UK. No, the race today.
Yeah, 2 p.m.
2
so
p.m.
before.
Okay, cool. So hopefully hopefully I'm back home by then because I do have to go outside today. So yeah, but anyways, people, we are gonna close out. We're gonna wrap it up here. Also, I forgot to shout out. Make sure you guys do go sub to Rasta's channel as well because he also played a huge part on my channel and his channel as well. Yep. Literally, subscribe to both our channels. Subscribe to all 3 of our channels. And Rasta will be back on for the United shows across the week. I'll be on his channel. If you haven't checked it out already, me, King, and Don C went on Rasta's channel, did a long show. It was a great show, great panel, great talk. I was actually eating my lunch while listening to you guys. It was vibes. It was generally really good vibes, man. Honestly, but yeah, it was a good show, man. Honestly, and we will definitely be back this week. King, I will have you on for the NBA after games 3 and 4 commenced. We'll be back on talking about it all.
Definitely. Also,
there's gonna be a game 5 for sure. Because obviously,
yeah.
One game today. Sorry, go on. You want to say something?
I do want to add. I was on Rasta's channel before this. Obviously, he had a little interview. So, and I like a lot of his interview style and videos. So yeah, go check out his stuff. And obviously, Authentic World Analysis as well. If you like politics on Rumble, I do videos on there with Augustia, who you see on this channel from time to time as well. And yeah, more streams on my channel coming as well.
People, you know the drill. Go follow King on all socials. By next year, I think by next season, I'm gonna switch over my NBA content. Well, I'll switch it over, but I'm gonna at least sort of start more NBA content on what you call on playback, because
Oh
that's
yeah,
where I think
definitely.
we have to get the viewers up for there as well. But yeah, big up to Joshy J. Big up, bro. Hope you're doing well, and yeah, the race is gonna be exciting tonight. Hopefully, man. I know you're a Ferrari fan as well, and yeah, hope you're enjoying. Yeah, you share him the rumble, share in the rumble. But anyways, we're gonna close out because I do have to go. But people, make sure you already know the drill. Like, share, subscribe to both our channels. We're out. Take care. Go Ferrari, and let's win this weekend, man. Peace.